Okay, so you ready for this? Google might be about to launch an AI that can run your whole web browser. We're talking booking flights, buying stuff online, maybe even managing your finances, all without you lifting a finger.
Wow. It really does seem like they're trying to streamline everything we do online these days.
Right, and get this, they're calling it Project Jarvis, like Tony Stark's AI from Iron Man.
Oh, that's a cool name.
I know, right? Now it's all under wraps still. But the rumors say it could be launching alongside their Gemini AI this December. And we've got leaks from The Information, Tech Radar, and Cyber News. They all paint a pretty fascinating picture.
Yeah, what really stands out to me is how this is different from other AI assistants. Those usually focus on a whole computer, but Jarvis is focused on the web browser.
So you're saying it's specifically designed for those everyday online tasks?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into the details then. What can this Jarvis thing actually do?
Well, from what we've heard, it can automate a bunch of stuff, like booking travel, making purchases online, even filling out those annoying web forms.
Ugh, I hate those.
Yeah, me too. But here's the really interesting part. It responds to voice commands.
So I could literally be like, Jarvis, book me a flight to Hawaii, and it would just do it.
That seems to be the idea. It can even take screenshots, understand what's on the screen, and then click buttons or type in fields based on what you tell.
Oh, okay, hold on. How does it even work? What's the secret sauce?
Well, it's powered by Google's new Gemini AI model, which is supposed to be their most advanced AI yet, and it uses something called Agentic AI.
Agentic AI, that sounds kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, it does
Okay.
say. But basically, it's all about being goal-oriented. You give it a goal, like book a flight, and it figures out the steps to make it happen.
So it's not like those basic chatbots that can't handle anything complicated.
Right. But keep in mind, it's still early. Reports say it can be a bit slow right now. It takes a few seconds to think between actions.
Gotcha. So not quite Skynet yet, but getting there. Now, you mentioned that Jarvis is focused on the web browser. Are there any other AI projects out there that are doing similar things?
Well, Anthropic's Claude AI is an interesting comparison. That one can actually control a whole computer.
Oh, wow.
But Jarvis seems to be specifically focused on the browser for now.
So it's kind of like a super-powered browser extension? I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But also a little creepy, if I'm being honest. It makes you wonder about the risks.
You're right. And one of the big questions is about privacy and security. How will that all work? The sources don't really say much about it.
Yeah, if the thing is going to be booking my flights and buying stuff for me, I definitely want to make sure my information is safe.
Absolutely. And there are a bunch of other big questions, too. What about more complex tasks? Could Jarvis handle things like investments or online banking? And how reliable will it be overall? What if it makes mistakes?
Oh, man. Imagine accidentally buying 10,000 rubber chickens instead of those new headphones you wanted.
Yeah, that would be a disaster.
Okay, so we've got this super powerful AI that could change how we use the internet. But there's still a lot of unknowns, especially when it comes to privacy and security. But could there be some benefits to all of this? Could Jarvis actually make our lives better? Let's talk about that after the break. Stick with us.
So before the break, we were talking about how Jarvis could revolutionize how we use the web. But it's important to remember that every new technology has its pros and cons.
Right. So let's flip the script a bit. What are some of the potential benefits here? Could Jarvis actually make our lives better?
Absolutely. One of the most exciting things about Jarvis is its potential impact on accessibility.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, imagine if you could control your whole online experience using just your voice. That would be huge for people with disabilities.
You're right. For people with visual impairments or mobility issues, this could be life-changing.
Exactly. And beyond accessibility, think about how much time we could all save.
Yeah, no more spending hours searching for the cheapest flight.
Right. You could just say, Jarvis, find me the best deal on a flight to Paris, and it would be done.
It would be like having a personal assistant.
That's a great way to put it. And Jarvis could even help us make better decisions. Imagine you're shopping online, and it could analyze hundreds of product reviews for you to help you find the best option.
That would be amazing. Or maybe it could even help us avoid those impulse purchases. Like, Jarvis, hide all the ads for shoes. My wallet can't handle it.
Haha, I like that. It definitely raises some interesting questions about how AI could influence our behavior online.
For sure. But there's no doubt that this technology has the potential to be huge.
It could completely change how we interact with the internet.
It's not just about convenience or efficiency. It's about fundamentally changing our relationship with the web.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just individual users, too. Businesses could use Jarvis to automate all sorts of things, like customer service or data analysis.
It's mind-blowing. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, we're on the verge of a major technological shift.
But, with all this talk about AI taking over, it's hard not to wonder, what does this mean for the future of work?
That's a big question, and it's one we need to think carefully about.
Like, are we all going to be out of jobs soon?
I don't think it has to be that way.
Okay, so you're saying there's hope.
Definitely. Throughout history, new technologies have always disrupted the job market, but they've also created new opportunities.
So you're saying that instead of replacing human workers, AI will just change the types of jobs that are in demand.
Right, just like the invention of the car led to a decline in horse-drawn carriages, but also created a whole new industry.
So what kind of skills should we be focusing on if we want to thrive in this AI-powered future?
Well, AI might be great at routine tasks, but there will always be a need for human skills, like creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence.
Those are the things that will set us apart from the machines.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
It's important to stay informed and keep learning.
We'll definitely keep our listeners updated. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into Project Jarvis, let's zoom out a bit. What does all of this tell us about the future of AI as a whole? What are the big picture implications we should be thinking about? We're back, and man, this whole Jarvis thing really has me thinking about the future of AI. It feels like we're about to see some massive changes.
Yeah, no doubt. Jarvis is just one example of how fast this technology is developing. It really makes you wonder, what does this mean for us in the long run?
Okay, so let's look into our crystal ball here. If Jarvis is as big as everyone thinks it's going to be, what do you think its biggest impact will be?
That's a good question. I think Jarvis could completely change how we interact with technology.
How so?
Well, right now, we have to adapt to the limitations of our devices. We type, we click, we scroll. But Jarvis suggests a future where technology adapts to us.
So instead of us learning to speak computer language, they'll learn to speak ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that could change everything.
It really could. It could change how we work, how we learn, even how we connect with each other.
It's exciting, but also kind of scary.
Right. Like any powerful technology, there are potential downsides.
Okay, so what are some of those downsides? What should we be watching out for?
One of the biggest concerns is unintended consequences.
What do you mean?
Well, AI models learn from data, and if that data contains biases, those biases can get amplified by the AI.
So if the data used to train Jarvis is biased, it could make biased decisions.
Yeah, potentially.
That's a bit worrying.
It is. That's why it's so important to be careful about the data used to train these systems.
And to make sure they're developed ethically.
Exactly.
So what else should we be thinking about?
Another big one is a relationship between humans and AI.
As AI gets more powerful, we need to make sure we don't become too reliant on it.
Right. We need to find that balance where AI empowers us, but doesn't take away our control.
It's like we're walking a tightrope.
In a way, yeah.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for our listeners?
Project Jarvis is a glimpse into the future, a future where AI could be seamlessly integrated into our lives.
It's both exciting and a little terrifying.
It is. It's a future full of possibilities, but also one that requires careful thought.
We need to ask the tough questions and make sure AI is used for good.
Absolutely.
So keep an eye out for Project Jarvis this December. It could be a game changer. And as we all navigate this new world of AI, let's keep those big questions in mind. How do we want AI to shape our future? And what role do we want to play in that future? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.